like I'm a butt of law. Ain't a bloody picture that you wish you never saw. It's scary on the streets in the nighttime. So when the sun goes down, you hear the doves cry.
Gets around the corner on top, and he'll shoot, and he scores!
It's a 9 for a 9. It's a 9 for a 9. You either do or you die. Put it on the line until the death of me. The victory is mine, I'm on a winning spree. They hate to see me win, so they envy me. I'm on a different level, like my energy. Like my energy. Like my energy. I'm on a different level, like my energy. I'm on a different level, like my energy. To my very last breath, till there ain't nothing left. I'ma push it to the max. I'ma do it to the death. My energy. I'm on a different level, like my energy. My energy. I'm on a different level, like my energy. My energy. I'm on a different level, like my energy.
Well, Season 6 of Monsters OT, presented by Century Federal Credit Union, has arrived right here on Rock Sports. And what a way to begin alongside my co-host, Brad Thiessen. I'm Tony Brown. Brad, of course, you know that is the open video that Monsters fans are going to watch and enjoy and get ready for the game with at Monsters Games at Rocket Arena this year. So we thought we'd highlight it here. Awesome job, yet again, by our game ops and creative teams. A great way to set the tone. And, of course, a big show for you here as we peel off the cover here on the 6th season, that's hard to believe, of Monsters OT. Coming up in just a minute, our Monsters Mic Check segment is going to allow us to hear from Monsters players. Also, later in the show, we'll have some fun with the Halloween holiday, which is quickly approaching and behind us now at this point, too, at least in terms of the Monsters promotions. And then coming up as well, an awesome new segment, The Breakout, with our buddy Nick Blazer. So it's all straight ahead, but we begin, as we always do, Tease, with headlines. All right, on headlines, we thought today, Brad, we would get to know the team a little bit, as there are lots of new faces in the Monsters dressing room this year, and we've broken it down into different sections. Let's begin with a bunch of veteran newcomers, as the Monsters, for the first time in multiple seasons, Brad, have a big core of veteran players on the roster, and they're all new.
Yeah, a big group, like you said, of veteran guys that Chris Clark has brought in this year for kind of leading the way and showing the rookies, the way and how to be pros. Dyson Mayo, someone who came from Henderson, I think, who's really caught my eye in this early part of the year. Someone who does a lot of little things right. He's on the power play, he's on the penalty kill, plays 5-on-5, and really been a steadying presence back there.
Yeah, and at this point, at least the time of this taping, he is the team's leading scorer with 4 assists in the first 5 games. But also Brendan Smith, a name that I think longtime Monster and NHL fans will be excited to have in the room this year. 720-plus games of NHL experience, and that rubs off on everybody.
Yeah, it does, and he's been awesome so far. Obviously different for him being in the American League, first time in 12 or 13 years having that experience, but he's come in with a great attitude, and he's a real, he gravitates to the younger guys, he wants to help them out, and so he's been a welcome addition.
Yeah, you talk about helping out the younger guys. How about the guy wearing the C again this season? He was in the Minnesota organization last year, but before that, 3 years with Cleveland. Brendan Gauntz is back and picking up right where he left off.
Yeah, no one's happier to be here than Brendan. It's he's loves Cleveland, loves playing for this team and being the captain of this team, and he's a real true pro, a real leader, and someone that I know Coach Vogelhuber loves to have on his bench and be able to throw out in all situations.
He's off to a good start, too, with a couple of goals in his column already this year. Let's talk about Hudson Fasching, too, a guy with lots of NHL experience, most recently in the Islanders organization. But he's just got great size and that net front presence.
Yeah, you said it there. A big body, can move well, he's got good hands, can get to that net front and cause some problems for the opposing D. So, and another true pro, does things the right way and goes about his business.
Even though Smith's on a PTO, a lot of the guys we've talked about are on NHL contracts. One really interesting AHL signing is another veteran, Will Butcher, on the back end. He's going to be a great source of offense for Cleveland. Of course, his college career was outstanding, and beyond that, a longtime pro as well. He's going to help the power play. Yeah,
just a real smart hockey player, knows what to do with the puck, someone who's going to definitely see some time on the power play running that top unit, and like you said, he's been around college, prolific scorer, NHL, a lot of points for the Devils. So he's a guy that's going to make a big impact as well.
Yeah, good chunk of time spent with the Buffalo Sabres for him as well. All right, that's the veterans. Let's talk about the rookies, as there is a whole host of rookie players set to make an impact for Cleveland this year. Let's begin with a guy that we'll hear from later, as he recently scored his first professional goal. But let's start with Rylan Mosley, off a great college career at Michigan Tech and then Wisconsin. He's making an impact.
Yeah, he is, and he's one of the guys who came in at the end of last year, so not necessarily new to Cleveland or people around here, and especially for him, he's real comfortable coming in, and he's jumped into the lineup and done a real nice job just playing a gritty, hard-nosed style game.
Yeah, his work ethic certainly noticeable. Let's talk now about Guillaume Richard. This is a guy that, much like Mosley, came in at the end of last year, got some time in the playoffs as well. He's been productive, pretty polished young defenseman.
Yeah, he's done a real nice job here at the beginning of this season, paired with Dyson Mayo, and they've formed a real solid player. Does a lot of little things right. Big guy, skates well, and moves the puck well, so he's doing a nice job in his rookie season.
Jack Williams, guy who played at your alma mater. We won't mention the name of the Northeastern. Anyway, he is with the Monsters this year. One pro game coming into this season. It was at the NHL level after he signed last year, but he's a guy who can do a lot of different things well.
Yeah, captain of Northeastern. He's a guy who, he's a rookie to the pro game, but does a lot of things right already, and he's a coach's favorite because of those little things that he does. He contributes all over the lineup, at center and on the wing. So he's a guy that has jumped in and done a nice job so far.
All right, let's sink our teeth into the goal crease now, Brad. We'd be remiss if we didn't discuss the goaltenders. And there is a big addition for the Monsters this year, literally and figuratively. It's Ivan Fedotov. Spent all of last season in the NHL with Philly, and here he is in Cleveland. He's gotten the lion's share of the workload early.
Yeah, obviously, like you said, a big guy. Real accomplished in Russia, won a KHL championship, won a silver medal at the Olympics, was with Philly last year in the NHL and was acquired at training camp here. So he's been through a lot in the last little bit, but jumped into the crease and done a nice job so far. Likes to keep his game simple, use that size to his advantage, and when he has to, as you can see, use some athletic ability.
And back on October the 10th, he got his season off to an amazing start with a 21-save shutout on the road over the Utica Comets. But it's not just him. Zach Sawchenko, another proven AHL goaltender, is backing him up to start the season. And Sawzy, we know what he can do. A year with Cleveland last season in which he was impressive. He can step in at a moment's notice and be that 1A option.
Yeah, really happy to have Sawzy back in the fold this year. Obviously formed a great tandem with Jet Greaves last season. He's that veteran presence that is great in the locker room. In that backup role, you need that guy who's willing to take the extra shots in practice and do all the little things that maybe some guys don't like to do, and Sawzy's all about it. So great to have him back, and he's ready to go and jump in when his time's called.
All right, quick break coming up here, but we did want to mention one injury already for the Monsters this season. Only Julian Bjergvik-Holm was hurt in that first trip to Utica, but talked to him today. He's on the mend. He's feeling better. Hopefully he'll be back in the lineup soon. With that, we'll take our first break. When we come back, we're going to learn about Monsters associate coach Chris Bergeron, last year making the transition from college to the pro game, and we are going to get to know Berge right after this on Monsters OT, presented by Century Federal Credit Union, only here on Rock Sports. Welcome back, everyone, to Monsters OT, presented by Century Federal Credit Union, right here on Rock Sports. Time now for our Monsters mic check. We wanted to hear briefly from a couple of guys who recently scored their first pro goals. Let's first take a look and a listen to Rylan Mosley's first tally as a pro.
You and Pearson were working hard below the dots, and G made a good jump and got it to the net, and I kind of just pitchforked it in.
Well, obviously he was quite excited and a lot of energy in the building for him, a memory for sure. But Tease, just great to see these guys get the first one out of the way. There is a little pressure.
Oh yeah, for sure. You want to see that puck go in the net for the first time and kind of breathe that sigh of relief. But for him, a couple minutes left in a 2-1 game, tying the score on the fourth line, getting the trust of the coach to be put in that situation. So great job by Rylan.
And then Jack Williams got his first as a pro, and this was in a critical situation as well. It ultimately earned the Monsters a point.
Good change by Moser there, and just found myself in the slot and put it on net, and good things happen.
Yeah, Jack, first season in pro. What's the difference between the college game and the AHL for you so far?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's bigger, stronger, faster. It's kind of all the cliches, but guys here have done a good job helping and helping me adapt.
You know, the guy to my left up here, Jack, once played a lot of hockey in Muskegon. You did too in the USHL. What can you tell us about Muskegon, Michigan?
Unbelievable spot. It's a place that I call home now. Spent a good amount of time there, and I love my time there. I love my teammates, my billets. So it was a pretty special place to me.
All right, last one real quick, Jack. What's key to make sure you guys close this thing out in the third period?
Just keep playing our game here. Keep putting pucks in, getting pucks back. We don't want to play in a track meet. Get to our forecheck, and good things will happen.
Jack, congrats again. Thanks for this. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Nice moment for him. A guy, again, that can do a lot of things, but nice to just get that out of the way, score that goal.
Yeah, a great shot by him as well. He's got a really good shot, and he's going to be someone that the Monsters are going to lean on for some offense. So hopefully that one gives him some confidence going forward.
Let's now get to know a member of the Monsters coaching staff, Associate Coach Chris Bergeron. He kind of runs the defense for the Monsters, but he made a big transition from college to pro last season, and we spoke to him in training camp.
After a 23-year run as a college assistant and head coach at Miami University in Bowling Green, last season saw Monsters associate coach Chris Bergeron stay put in Ohio, but step into a whole different world in pro hockey. But he did so alongside a head coach he's literally watched grow up.
I've known Trent for a long time, 16, 17 years old, something like that. I think about the phone call I got from Ed Ginger and the Junior Blue Jacket organization saying, hey, we've got a local boy that you want to pay attention to, and that was Trent. And then you fast forward, so to see somebody like Trent now grown up as a husband, as a father, and now as a hockey coach and mentoring these young hockey players, it's a proud moment, and it's why you get into coaching.
Him and Jeff Blashill were the guys that recruited me to come play at Miami, and they were, the reason I went and played there. Such good people. And I built a really strong relationship with Burge, who coached me there, recruited me and coached me there for 2 years before he went to take the head coaching job at Bowling Green, and had stayed in touch with him ever since, which I think is the mark of a good coach who cares about his players. So when the opportunity came up last summer, he was the first guy I called because I knew he was available, and fortunately for us, it worked out.
Fully acclimated to the pro game since last year, Bergeron's ready to start fast this season.
Last year, coming off of what I came off of from the year before, going through the summer with a little uncertainty, and then at the end of the summer, this presenting itself, solidifying itself, and then all of a sudden you're in training camp and so on. So I think it took me 3 months to feel comfortable, not necessarily in the coach's room, but with the players. I think Trent wants the people around him to be resources for these boys, and we should be. I'm not sure I was a very good version of that early, but I do think as the year went on, I got more comfortable, and now fast forward to coming into this year, I think I'm in a totally different headspace in a good way. Hopefully, again, be more of a resource for these boys right away, and not have to kind of feel my way around for the first little bit and kind of hit the ground running a little bit.
He's certainly made an impact on Cleveland's young D-core.
I think he pushes us every day, whether it's on the PK or especially for the D. And then he's always after practice doing D shooting with us, so always there for us, honestly. And even in the locker room, great guy to talk to about anything, so he's huge for us.
Burge is great. I mean, he's always trying to make you feel comfortable, talking to you in the room, grabbing you to come do some extra skill sessions. So, he cares and it shows. So it's great. He's been great since he's been here.
With an interesting mix on the back end this year, Bergeron believes in his blue liners.
I think it's going to be a group, Tony, that's strength is 5-on-5 defending and 4-on-5 on the penalty kill. We're going to need somebody in the group to step up, if not a couple of guys on the power play. But I think when we think about defending and hopefully spending less time in our own zone, those are things that we can work through together. You don't necessarily need experience to get better in those areas. Those are always areas that matter, and I think this group is capable.
Well, great stuff there, and nice to get to know Chris Bergeron. He and Trent go back, obviously, quite a long way, so it must be fun for those two to work together again this season. Quick break coming up, but first, we want to remind you guys that you can catch the Monsters all season long on Rock Sports, and this year we've got a club record 26 games on TV. Next up, a couple of tilts against Providence on Friday and Saturday, the 7th and 8th of November. Head to clevelandmonsters.com for the full schedule, and check out all the info on our audio schedule as well on Sports Radio 99.1, WTAM 1100, and plenty more. With that, a quick break, and we'll be back with more Monsters OT presented by Century Federal Credit Union. Next. Federal Credit Union, and we have an all-new segment on the show. We're excited about it. We're going to be joined by Monsters Digital Content Coordinator Nick Blazer. It's the Breakout with Nick Blazer. Nick, thank you very much for being here. Let's take a look at what you've got for us today. And just so everyone knows, me and Teese, we don't know what you're about to ask us, so go ahead.
Yeah, so overall, we took to the Monsters social media channels to pick up some questions from the fans or possibly some debate topics for you guys to chat about. We have 4 here, this one leaning a little bit more towards Brad, but just outside of playing well, what goes through that thought process of deciding what goaltender is going to start a game?
Yeah, obviously at the American League level, there's a lot of development question or like thoughts that go into who's playing and when and such like that. So that's part of the thought process. Obviously in the American League, there's a lot of back-to-backs as well, so you're trying to manage workloads in those situations. So a lot of different factors kind of go into the pie as to how you decide who's playing.
And then for both of you, what player on the Monsters roster has surprised you the most this season so far?
I don't know if it's like a surprise, but I've really enjoyed seeing Caleb McDonald to start the year, especially, playing alongside now Will Butcher. It's nice to see those guys kind of work, the veteran, the rookie together, and he seems to have, sorted out the speed of the game at the AHL level. He's been fun to watch.
Yeah, and I'll stick with the back end too, and I'll go with Dyson Mayo, someone that we didn't really know being, in that Pacific Division a lot of his career, and he's just a really sound veteran. And then that pairing with Guillaume Richard has really, I think, kind of taken off and solidified themselves for Chris Bergeron as a pair that can go out there in any situation.
And then for some clarification amongst the fan base, there was quite a bit of confusion around the whole Chongmin Lee contract situation. A lot of fans are super excited to potentially watch him play here. Just what are the odds he makes his way up to this roster, and what is that going to take?
Yeah, I think great odds. He signed an AHL deal, so it's a two-way deal. It's not like, an NHL AHL. It's more of an AHL ECHL deal. So he was with Bloomington in the ECHL, and that's where he's going to remain for now. But he's now under contract with the Monsters, meaning he doesn't have to sign a PTO or anything like that to call him up. He can just call him up like the Blue Jackets would call up Cleveland players. So when injuries dictate or when a need arises, I'd expect to see him in a Cleveland uniform.
And then to wrap things up, just what has been the biggest positive change from last year to this year that you've picked up so far?
What do you got, Brad?
Yeah, I think just the overall group of players, I think it's this early in the year, it's already kind of come together. I think Coach Vogelhuber, it's his style of team, how he likes to work to have guys play. It's a real meat and potatoes type team that's going to play a structured game, a hard-nosed game. Scoring is yet to come yet, but I think that'll come as we go along here. But I think it's a real solid team to start off the season.
Yeah, and I'd say just leadership and experience. Nice to have a huge core of guys, not just the guys wearing the letters, but players that have been around and the new faces that have hundreds and hundreds of games under their belt. It's been great to have that leadership initially. All right, that's Nick Blazer. Pretty good, Nick. The breakout. I like it. All right, with that, we'll take another break. When we come back, we'll wrap up another edition of Monsters OT presented by Century Federal Credit Union right here on Rock Sports. Welcome back, everyone. Time to wrap up Monsters OT, presented by Century Federal Credit Union here on Rock Sports. Brad is back, and time now for our Monsters Memory segment, and Halloween is here. The season has arrived, and the Monsters had their Monster Mash game on the 25th of October, which was a great opportunity for the fans to get out, the kids to wear their costumes, and for everybody to enjoy some really cool giveaway trick-or-treat bags as well. But Brad, the Halloween games are fun. It's early in the season, and the stakes feel just a little bit lower. But I got to ask you, what are the Thiessen crew wearing for Halloween this year?
Well, this year we got ketchup and mustard, the Sugardale hot dogs. That's what the boys are, and Aubrey will be Stitch. So we got a good crew ready for Halloween. How about you? How about Dylan?
Dylan is a Minion this year, and I sadly will be in Milwaukee for Halloween. But happy Halloween to all of you guys, and thanks for tuning in. It's been another episode of Monsters OT. Lots of thank yous to hand out. Of course, my co-host Brad Thiessen. Thanks, Brad. Leo Simone, Jeremy Hawks, the rest of our great crew, including our camera operators Robert and Cecil, who do all of the serious, real work on this show. No one else really counts, to be honest with you, at the end of the day. Thanks to Nick Blazer, and thanks to all of you for watching. Also to Century Federal Credit Union. I'm Tony Brown, and this has been Monsters OT. We'll see you next time on Rock Sports.